okay, that was awesome. So, like, don't use that as an example of what not to say because I just did a great job there. But, some people legitimately didn't know what to say. Even though it was like kind of weird, I enjoyed the person who was playing Fluttershy. I think she got the tone right on that. Um, so anyway, that played through. Oh, and one of the more what the fuck things was, now I don't watch Doctor Who, so I don't really give a shit about it. But someone came dressed as Doctor Who's, and I seriously thought it was Discord at first or something. But it wasn't Doctor Who's the character. It was like, I think he might have just been dressed as one of the Doctor Who characters. And then he got on stage and just kind of started doing a Doctor Who routine. Um, I did not know what to make of all of this, but I know I did not enjoy it. And it was really awkward and weird, and I wish it didn't happen. Um, those are all the costumes I can remember at the moment. I would probably have to look it up. Oh, and it was also at this point, like, I thought that coming from Buffalo to New York City was, a bit of a ways to go. Then I heard the person who was dressed as Twilight was from Wichita. I was like, oh shit. Then there was a Minnesotan there, and then someone all the way from California. So I was like, fuck. So some people really came a long way for BroNYCon. Kudos to them or curse them, depending on your point of view. Jesus Christ, I've been talking for an hour and I still have a ways to go. Oh well. Um, so I think that covers all the major things. The costume contest, um, pony auction. This was now up until this point the most amazing thing I had seen that day was the aforementioned fighting is magic thing, where the crowd was so intensely into it that it was borderline amazing. Um, and honestly, when the auction started happening, I had mentioned those artists on the outside and all that. I sort of got inspired to like, sort of go and just check it out to see if it, because it's like pony auction. I'm not getting anything. Um, this is just going to be boring. So I got up. I sort of took a walk around. I went into the bath. Quick side note: um, the hotel Penn, on the whole, not that impressed. Particularly with the rooms themselves, which I mean I'm in at the moment. It's funny on the outside of the door they have a little sign that says something to the effect of, well, shit. Let me see what it says. One second. Okay, it says this original and historic valet door was created in 1919, which, that's cool. But then you get into the rooms and you get the feeling that just about everything else was also created in 1919 and hasn't really been restored. Um, and the bathrooms that were available at the at the BroNYCon room, and obviously this, nothing on the organizers or anything, I found them pretty damn disgusting. The one urinal that was way on the end it was one of those situations where the floor was completely wet. You like on the one hand, part of you is wondering why this happened, and the other part of you doesn't want to know the answer. So that was, what's the nice way to put this? Unfortunate. And yeah, on the whole, I mean, Hotel Penn, not that amazing. But, whatever. I'm not a hotel aficionado anyway. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, the pony auction. So anyway, I get up and I look at all the, I sort of like glance at the artist tables, and the hallway is still fucking packed. Um, uh, I think there was a video game demonstration that was going on, but it seemed like there was a line for it and it was hard to get into. And again, the packed hallway. And it's not like after like not even 5 minutes, I'm like, oh shit, nothing to do there. So I just kind of go in and I sit back down and, okay, I'll see if anything interesting is going on at the pony auction, which I don't believe I missed any part of it because by the time I got back, it was just, starting to get going. Now, I'm sure that everyone is aware, and I've certainly seen the enhanced prices that you can find on eBay. There was the Rainbow Dash, I'm using finger quotes right now, life-size doll. Um, which, how do you put a life size to a fictional character? This isn't important, but that went for like 4,000 fucking dollars. I remember my reaction to that was like, yeah, this is just somebody trolling them. There's no way this is a real bid. And I said that with like, in my mind, like this issue was settled. This did not happen. Um, and a few days later, I find out that the person who made it, who I believe posted on this on SA, said like, no, I verified him. I didn't even let him place the bid until I knew the money was there. I was doing that for everybody, and I've got my payment. I've got my $4,500 or whatever it was. And then there was the admittedly well done Fluttershy little plushy doll in the gala dress, which, again, this stuff, a lot of it is legitimately well done. It's not that, but it went for like $2,800 or some shit, and it's like, what? So, okay, so I was fully aware of that effect. I actually momentarily thought about like, is this going to happen again? Something like this? No, we didn't see any prices that outrageous, but um, is that something that would happen in an auction setting? My mindset on this, and I was 100% wrong, was thinking that in the auction with I think there might have, I presumed there might have been a disconnect between people who would be bidding on eBay and the people who actually go to the convention. I was thinking in the real life setting that, this mindset wouldn't play out in the same way. So my basic thought was, no, I don't think we're going to see anything quite this crazy go on there. As I said, I was 100% incorrect on this, and watching it happen was goddamn amazing. There was a few points where, like, I don't want to say my jaw was on the ground because I don't care for that expression, but it literally was like my mouth was completely open in just pure amazement at what I was seeing. I, I mean, like the one rarity doll that went for like, or whatever it was. I don't know the classifications of this stuff. That went for like $550. It started at 45. I was like, yeah, they'll probably get that, and then it kept going, and went really quick. So many of these went so fast in terms of their inflated value and all that. And when it got to $150, I think I audibly said, Jesus Christ, that was at 150. Then it went 175, 200, 225, 250, and like I couldn't believe what I was seeing, that people were really sincerely getting into this. And like, I give some credit, again, to the people who were running it because they knew how to milk it. And milking it really increased some of the prices. Like, if they thought they could get more, they wouldn't say, like, going once, going twice. It would be like, going once, pause, going twice, then say something nice about the object. And you know what? That shit really worked. To their credit, I suppose. But the prices that were paid for that were just, I mean, and again, a lot of this stuff was cool. The cake foam thing was actually really neat, though I could have gone without saying you can lick Pinkie. Maybe nothing was intended by it, but maybe something was. And it was a thing that did not need to be said. Um, so like I I'm having trouble articulating like how amazed I actually was at what transpired at this point in time. I know that a few people were on the IRC and saying, how blown their mind was that this was taking place. So this sounds fucking nerdy, but I actually look forward to skimming through that log of the 11 hours of live streaming, which, by the way, you guys were fucking insane to watch all of that. Um, and really, since you saw the opening shows, you saw a bit more than I did. Um, so, I mean, the pony auction, I hope that the psychologist guy that I missed earlier in the day uh, came back and saw that happening, or maybe a sociologist or social psychologist, because you know I want a scientific explanation for how that took place, and I consider myself a decently intelligent guy, not not particularly smart or anything, but of decent intelligence. I cannot explain it. Like people were saying, how do they have the money for this? I could be wrong. Again, I could be completely off base. I don't think that BroNYCon caters to higher income Americans as a exclusive thing. I mean, like, I don't think that's something that's particularly true of this group. They probably don't have the money for this. This is probably their entertainment budget. Again, I could be completely wrong on all of this, but the fandom and the show has taken such a position in their life that getting a really admittedly well done pony doll is to them legitimately worth paying more money than they should for frankly anything. Well, not frankly anything, but for any object like that. So to actually, I mean, it's one thing to see it on eBay or even to watch it on a stream, but to be in the room and feel the energy that that gives off, and that really does exist, was. Let me put it this way: if you asked me about it in 10 years, I would remember it. I have no doubt in my mind, and it was fucking something else. So, it, luckily at this point, let's see, I believe who was there? Dark Matter had left to do his. He was at one of the tables for something, and oh yeah, he was at the game table. But it was just sort of me, Headless, and Scuderia sitting there, just in the amazement that I've been rambling about for 10 minutes here. Almost like mystery science theatering the whole thing, like audibly laughing at some of it, like at the way the prices went up immediately. There was one point where I felt sorry for this one woman. She had she you could tell that she wanted something, but like maybe she was being sensible and like I'm not going to pay these prices. There was one point where she jumped right up at I think it was for the sake of argument, let's say the Pinkie doll or something, and she's like $40, and before she could finish saying the words $40, someone said $90. At like the top of their lungs and took over it, which was then immediately overtaken by something like $100, like in an instant, and then she sits down completely defeated. I shouldn't be laughing at misery, but again, that was fucking something else. Also, one of the interesting moments was that at one point they did an actual piece of art, like what was it? It was like a painting of I think it was weird. I didn't know what the fuck it was, but and they started it at 500. Now it was funny because when they didn't get the opening bids, it seemed like they legitimately just did not know what to do. So they did what I was calling a reverse auction. That is possible the correct term is Dutch auction, where they're like $500. Anyone $500 for this painting? Come on, guys, it's blah, blah, blah. $500, $450, $450, and I believe that piece in particular went down to $300 even, which somebody just took and then like it was kind of funny to watch the logic of this after going down. They were like 305, and there was no takers, of course. Um, um, but yeah, it seems like the a lot of the things that were more art pieces really didn't go as well. While anything that was in the form of a figurine was fucking pure strain gold or something at a Ron Paul convention. I mean, um, people just wanted that shit so bad, and they were willing to do anything. Um, okay, like you can watch this online, but that was so bizarre to see. Okay, then